Today, we're spotlighting a powerhouse real estate duo, LaShawn Peterson-Jackson and Tawana Peterson-Jackson, co-founders of Team Peterson-Jackson, a mega producing group with hundreds of closings, a 5-time EXP Mega Icon Award streak, and a mission that's as bold as their systems are sharp. Now, LaShawn, you spent over 2 decades in corporate IT before jumping into real estate. So I'd love to hear, what were some of the first systems or frameworks you applied when building your real estate team?
The first thing I had to do was to figure out how to route the emails properly so that nothing fell through the cracks, and making sure that we had auto responses and things of that nature in place.
So just making sure you're communicating with your clients, other agents on the other side of things.
We had to learn to tackle our CRM. Without a CRM, you really don't have a business if you don't have a database, and getting some type of system to our client contacts, the frequency of our client contacts, and just organizing our clients into categories and taking care of that database.
Did you have a systematic process in how you were doing that, or was that just kind of a mess at the beginning?
It was a mess at the beginning because I wanted to have meaningful contacts in my database. I didn't want, people that I knew like never was going to buy a home, or just people that I didn't know why they were in my phones. We definitely went through everybody one by one to qualify and categorize them.
Now, I imagine because you have the project management background, were there any like Gantt charts or workflows that you drew out to put all this together? Or
it
no,
was a workflow
really?
Because I had someone helping me, so we had to do it systematically. But she was amazing. She had a few months off work, and so we had to tap into her while she could help, and she was just amazing with it. And we had about 10,000 people at the time, so we was able to go through them all and get them all in categories.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because to have help, and then 2 heads are better than 1, as we know. So when you have that strong, creative thinker that's able to be on your team, Tawana, I'd love to hear from you, like from your perspective, what system or process has had the most impact on like your team's consistency and their performance?
That would definitely be the CRM. Okay. Nothing else. And we were lucky that young lady was off work for those 2 or 3 months to really give us a head start on it. Because at the time that she was off, that was around the time that we jumped in with EXP and had KB Core. So this was like our first introduction to, there are systems out here that handle automation and business. So we were really excited about that. LaShawn and I make sure we keep great people around us at all times. We have a really, really strong circle. Everyone has something that they can bring. You want to make sure you have a strong, foundation of friends. And
how did that work? There's an art and a science to this to make sure that, people aren't like, wait a minute, what?
It took some calls, it took some texts, and then she was just doing her thing, her research.
People put a lot of their information online. You know their kids.
Yeah, you're right about that.
We know their kids' names. It's all there. We freely give that information out. And she was able to extract that information.
So that's something I teach when I'm teaching agents about social media. That's what you should be on social media for. You should be looking at the things that people want to talk about, and then talk about it with them, because that's why they posted it. Exactly. If they didn't want to talk about it, they wouldn't have posted it.
I agree.
Now, you guys have built like a really high production team. And obviously we know that does not happen by accident. So what are the key roles that you focused on early in order to scale output without burning out your best agents?
So the first thing we had to do, we had to figure out the onboarding, the agent education piece. So we had to make that as efficient and as smooth as possible. So we created a 12-week onboarding. So people was like, oh my God, a 12-week onboarding, that's a lot. I'm like, it's nothing, because the knowledge in this business is infinite. Like, you can really get a PhD in real estate. So 12 weeks is like trade school at best. Yeah. It's a 12-week onboarding program that every agent on our team that joins our team, whether you're an experienced agent or a brand new agent, you have to complete. And it take you from step 1, joining your real estate board, with transferring your license to EXP, to the last step, which is writing your 6-month goal plan. During those 12 weeks, you never have to worry about what you should be working on. And then once a month, we have a boot camp that focuses on week 1 through 4, week 5 through 8, and then week 9 through 12.
So do you have an onboarding specialist that's helping these agents go through? So who's answering their questions as they're going through these modules? And like, I just don't get that.
Every Wednesday, we have something that we call art class, and it's agent resource table, where I'm either there, the admin staff's there. We have a couple of top producers, be that the VP of sales or one of our directors of agent growth. And they're in the office, and we have 2 hours set aside for any agent to drop in and ask any question.
And then every new agent is assigned a mentor. So their mentor is usually an agent that's been in production well over a year, that has met production standards, and we make them get certified now through EXP.
What incentive do they see out of that? How are you leveraging that role, that kind of aspirational aspect of your team, where people that are in your team or in your organization want to step up and lead?
Well, they get paid mentorship.
They get actually named as their mentor, and they get a mentor split when the agents are actually your performance.
Yes, correct.
A lot of agents want to know about what you and I do, Michael, or me and LaShawn do about getting on stages. So they're preparing themselves to be leaders in that aspect, being able to train, being able to present. And what I have noticed is that if you can teach a subject, you become proficient in the subject. So teaching sales, you're a wonderful salesperson.
You don't know a thing until you can teach a thing.
There you go.
Once you can teach that thing, now we know you know it.
You know it.
And then lastly, a lot of our top producers, they have a stake in the team because they are attractors. They have a downline and they bring their downlines to the team. So they have a stake that the team is successful in that manner because, they're growing their downline, they're growing their organization.
How many agents are we talking about on your team?
Right now, we have 70 agents in Detroit. And I know it seems like a lot, but I always consider like they're in different stages in their career.
Okay.
And then we have 10 in Houston.
Tell us the makeup of your organization. What does that look like?
So it's me and LaShawn as co-team leads and founders. And then we hired an operations manager to help us with operations. We did that this year to try to get our hand around. So our operations manager role was to find the bottlenecks in our system to, of course, increase productivity. And we wanted her to really focus on artificial intelligence and also automation to, of course, move along our transactions smoother, make the agents happier. The admins provide administrative services to the agents. They take the entire team, they split it in half. I have one admin works half the team, the other admin works the other half the team. And then they handle things for you as an agent, making sure your communication is going through to title, making sure that you're, on board. Hey, Michael, it's getting close to closing day. What we doing here? Just keeping track of the deals, making sure they input in the system, making sure we can follow along with you. So then we have our transaction coordinators who are virtual. We have one who specifically focuses on, getting the Houston up and running. And then the other two are full-time and they're in the Philippines. A marketing coordinator that's full-time and he handles, getting the flyers out. He does video for us. So you see all those reels out. He'll do some of those for the team and me. So that's what our marketing person takes care of. As far as on the agent side to help with production, we do have 2 vice president of sales, our son Andre, and then Coach Chris Moore. And we have a director of agent development, and that's Derek McKinney. He handles
that's the dad.
That's dad, pretty much. When it's time for script, you're going up against with Derek. He's making sure the agent is developed to be out and have these conversations. He really pushes value proposition and developing that with the agent, just to making you into a professional person, being able to present and communicate.
How often is he available to them? Is he always in the office?
He does script Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 9 every morning. He holds that class and people log on to practice script practice with him going back and forth. And he realizes that how confident the agents are becoming from that. It's amazing. Just that one change that he's been able to bring out in the agent. So
as leaders, how do you balance being mentors versus managers? Because you guys have a really close-knit team. Like I see the celebrations that you guys do. You got a whole closing day song that you sing and you bring in stuff. I'll be watching y'all, right? See, my idea of mentoring is being able to have the level of communication that's open where I can say to an agent, do I have permission to tell you what you need to hear and not necessarily what you want to hear? You have the mentor that's helping them and kind of building them up, but then you also have this manager where you kind of have to make sure that, hey, you're my kid, but I'll still whoop you, right? Like, how do you balance that?
Well, we're blessed because